All right, hey now, it's the Rob from 106.1.
Rob, wait.
What?
This is post to post. We got to do something big, something out there.
What were you thinking?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Town Square Media and 106.1 KISS FM proudly bring to you your podcast champions of the world. He's the R to the O to the B. I'm STEVE. We are your hosts with the most, bringing you everything wrestling related from post to post.
Hey now, it's the Rob from 106.1 KISS FM, here with my tag team partner in podcasting.
Hey guys, it's me, Steve, web contributor to 106.1 evansville.com.
Welcome to our Tuesday edition of Post to Post, where we talk about last night's Raw and everything that went down on the show. I do have some notes, I have some thoughts about last night's show. Overall, I thought it was a decent show.
Yep.
You?
I kind of thought it was a seesaw there. You had really good moments and then moments.
Okay. Well, I took some notes, and I'll share with you some things that I was thinking throughout the show.
Okay.
I thought that the show got off to a weird start initially. However, once the segment got started, I realized it was a good way to start. It's rare that you see Raw start with just in the middle of an intro.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose got the show started. But you know what? I would rather it kind of just jump into it that way than see 5 more entrances that we don't need to see, to be honest with you. So I kind of actually did a 360 or a 180 rather, and changed my mind and said, you know what, that was probably a smart move to do those off the air, those 5 entrances off the air. It got into a start. I thought last night was an example of them kind of walking the line decently between serious and goofy.
Yeah.
I thought that sometimes when you get all those guys in the ring, they can get a little goofy. And there were moments that got a little bit that way, but for the most part, they kind of stayed on track, and it wasn't too over the top, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I could see how someone could maybe think that it was. They did get a little comical at times. Being self-referential with the plugs for the network and stuff like that. But for the most part, I was satisfied with the opening segment until Teddy Long came out. Was it just me, or did he take away from the show throughout the show? Or am I wrong here?
I don't know that you're wrong. I think it kind of takes away from who Teddy Long was, but I think this is something they're going to start. I think we may see like Vicky Guerrero in the future. And
yeah, I don't think we're going to see them for very long.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming that Stephanie will take control of SmackDown and Shane will take control of Raw.
Yeah, but it's all going to be part of that build-up to keep SmackDown fresh in our minds, and it's going live July 19th.
But okay, so Teddy was clearly doing a parody of himself.
Yeah.
But, to be honest with you, yeah, he did those things, and, he screwed up the, when he was saying SmackDown was the longest-running weekly... So there's a great blooper from the past when he screwed that up. I guarantee you he was joking when he screwed it up last night. Teddy was better than that,
Yeah.
He did have a lot of Fatal 4-Way matches and tag team main events, but there was more to him than that. I just felt like he did himself a disservice.
Yeah, definitely.
And the writing I didn't appreciate with Teddy personally. I don't have a problem with Teddy, I just didn't appreciate him last night.
Yeah.
And that goes throughout the show. I never really... I was happy to see him at first, and then I'm like, oh, he's going to be weird, and this is going to be all night long. And
it's almost like they gave him Alzheimer's and just made him that grandpa you feel sorry for.
Yeah, and that's not what I remember as Teddy, so I didn't appreciate that. I thought he was unnecessary. I thought that while they keep making... I'm going to refer to these guys as the SmackDown 6 because it's become a point of... I won't say contention, but it's kind of become a popular term on our threads about these guys. But when you mix these guys up in any way, shape, or form, I think they give you great matches.
Yes.
The best of which last night, in my opinion, was Jericho and Cesaro. Namely, when Cesaro got out of that Walls of Jericho and turned it into whatever he turned it into, my goodness, that display of strength and athleticism when at the finish of that match.
Yeah, he turned it into the Cesaro swing, which then in turn turned it into the sharpshooter.
Yeah,
and won the match
out of a Walls of Jericho.
I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah, I like that stuff. That's fantastic. A great job from those guys.
Yeah.
So I love that. I thought that it was good how much of an importance they're placing on that specific ladder match.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's going to be more than one Money in the Bank ladder match. I think it's just going to be the one.
Yeah.
But they're really making it feel more important than years prior, in my opinion. They're getting a lot of screen time. Qualifying has been very important. I just feel like they're really placing a high level of importance on this match. Agree?
I definitely agree. I know we're not doing predictions in any way. I was kind of going into it thinking Dean Ambrose may win and cash in the same night for the Shield angle, but I'm thinking whoever wins may hold on until they announce a SmackDown champion.
Okay. There's a whole lot that can happen here, and anything's possible. So I think that's good. I thought that Cena and Styles were on point last night.
Oh, I loved it.
I thought they both did a great job with their promos. There was only one problem I had with their segment last night. Do you know what that was?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so when the club got down to the ring, they were, quote-unquote, cornering John Cena.
Yes.
And John's, he's got he's putting his dukes up, taking on all comers because he's got nowhere to go. His back's to the ropes, essentially. But there was only 3 of them, and there are 4 sides to the ring. And at any point in time, if Cena wanted to escape, he could have.
Yeah.
So I think you need at least 4 guys if you're going to do an entrapment angle.
Yeah.
That was my only problem with it, though. Everything else, they were on point, and this is a feud that I'm ready for this.
Yeah.
I love when Cena is in a great feud like this that's not about the championship. It's just him and another guy, and I don't know who's going to win. Love that aspect of this.
Yeah, I love when John Cena gets serious on the mic when he cuts out the poopy jokes. And
yeah,
that's the best
correct.
John Cena is on the mic.
I agree completely. So far, I'm all systems go with Cena and Styles. I think Enzo did a great job last night.
Yes.
But eventually, I had a problem with this segment. What did you think of their match with the Vaudevillains? Specifically, the ending. Do you remember the ending? The Vaudevillains.
Where they tried to replay the concussion. Yeah, they didn't necessarily need to do that. If they want to hurt him, they could do it in another way.
Well, actually, that I disagree with. I thought that was cool. The idea behind trying to recreate the incident was, in my opinion, a great ending to the match. Also, having it be a non-finish with Kaz being unstoppable or whatever was a really good idea. The execution, in my opinion, came off really, really bad. Kaz was not over the top enough for this. So here's what I compare it to. Kaz was upset that they tried to hurt Amore. Yeah. And cool. I'm great with that. And then he was becoming unstoppable. He was beating up both those guys, but he seemed to be doing it legally in a way that we're used to seeing in wrestling. It would almost be like, you remember when Austin used to stomp a mud hole on his opponents in the turnbuckle? Yeah. It just felt like to me as if the ref would have just randomly stopped a match at that point. Because Austin, you're stomping too many mud holes.
I think, in storyline-wise, and I'm playing devil's advocate, is that he wasn't the legal man and the ref was trying to separate him and he wouldn't separate. That's where the DQ came in.
Okay, I guess I didn't think about that part. Okay, then maybe that's what they were going for then. I don't know. I felt like that needed more at the end. Yeah. I actually liked the writing of this one. It was the execution I didn't like. I don't know. It just came off flat to me at the end. But I really liked the idea of the recreating of the concussion. I thought that was cool personally. Well, they showed Backlund and Young again.
Oh my goodness.
Not only is this not getting any better, it's in my opinion, and this is so sad to say, Backlund is performing better than Young is. I feel like Backlund is the more convincing actor of the two. I hate that it's via satellite. That makes no sense. The stuff they're doing makes no sense, and it doesn't even seem to be playing out on television with any matches. It's just weird vignettes.
Yeah.
Thoughts on them?
I try not to think about them, but unfortunately WWE is going to make me. I don't think either one of them is doing a good job, and all it's doing is hurting Darren Young. I mean, Bob Backlund, if he wasn't doing this, he'd be at home being Bob Backlund.
Well, I guess I'm not sure it's hurting Darren Young because I'm not sure Darren Young would be being used otherwise. He was going from nothing to a bad angle, which might be better than nothing.
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, if he was in the ring doing nothing, if he was putting other guys over, that's something. But, yeah, this may be less than nothing.
Okay, and it could be. You might be right. Charlotte had a promo after that, and my only thought about that was, I don't know if Charlotte is cutting this promo or if Charlotte's pimple is cutting this promo. Could you notice that?
Yes.
All I saw was a pimple.
Okay.
I mean, under her, like right around here on her chin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness, it was humongous. And I hate to be the guy that picks on a girl for the way that they look, but all I saw was the pimple last night. I actually wanted to praise Charlotte because over the past 2 weeks, I feel like she's been getting chewed up and spit out, and she's getting beat up a bit for the promo with her dad 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I want to go on record as saying, while I think it was bad writing from the writing point of view, as in I don't think she would really say those things, I thought that her execution, in my opinion, was just fine. It wasn't a bad promo. It's getting beat up for being one. I don't think it was, in my opinion.
See, I think it was. I think the only thing that saved it was Ric Flair's reaction.
Again, so yeah, I mean, I seem to be in the minority here. Every wrestling fan seems to agree with you. I thought it was what it was. I don't think she does a bad job on the stick. I actually think she.
Oh, she does. I mean, she usually does a good job. I'm just saying that promo.
Yeah, I don't. That promo didn't bother me.
It came off as she forced that out of her, and it showed.
They've got this Breeze Dango team, and it really struck me last night. They're trying to be Zoolander.
Okay.
Clearly, they're really not even hiding it. He's trying to be Derek Zoolander.
Okay.
Watch for that in the future. And then my last thought about the show was I enjoy seeing different people in the main event spot. We've had the girls a few weeks ago. We had tag team last night. It's kind of refreshing to see different people wrap the show up and not always be Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Do we even? I know they had a video package about Reigns and Rollins. We didn't see them last night, did we?
No, we didn't. I mean, and that's the world title, storyline right now.
Yeah.
We're not seeing them.
Is there anything from the show you wanted to mention?
No, I was going to make sure we mentioned Teddy Long. Because,
yeah, obviously.
But yeah.
There was one more thing that I thought was conspicuous by its absence, and it's going to lead into tomorrow's episode because we've got a topic for you tomorrow. Actually, it's more of I guess I'd call it a news related video. But I was kind of surprised they did not mention at all the Brock Lesnar UFC news. But then again, in some ways, I'm not. But it was a conspicuous by its absence to me. I feel like that's by far the biggest news story of the week, if not longer. Brock Lesnar heading to UFC for 200 while still being under contract with WWE. You want to talk about that next?
Yes.
All right, so tomorrow we'll have another video. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Post to Post. For myself, The Rob, my tag team partner, Steve.
Mr.